We've been begging MG UK for weeks, let us drive the MG Cyberster. Let's borrow one before the cars come to the showrooms. And they said no. And then they finally said, go on then, you can. But under no circumstances whatsoever must it be driven. Anyway, I've got a 300-mile road trip to do. So the car we're driving today is the all-wheel drive GT model. So it's got 503 brake horsepower, all-wheel drive, it's got a 50-50 weight distribution, and it's got all the toys you could possibly need. Now, we're currently southbound on the M6, which is going past junction 18. We've been driving for about 45 minutes so far, and we're averaging 3.6 miles per kilowatt hour. So at motorway speeds, actually, this is pretty efficient for something with that sort of horsepower. We'll keep you updated as we go further along. So today we're going to Wiltshire. So we've got to go pick up a car from Chippenham, near Wiltshire, and then this car actually also has to go on to southeast London. So in total, we're going to be driving probably over 300 miles today through a variety of traffic, a lot of motorway driving. We hope to come off the motorway and do a bit of A road, B road driving as well, just to see what that's like. And we're going to do some city driving when we get into London as well. We set off with a car, it had 92% battery when we left, and 280 miles on a full charge, depending how you drive. Well, at the moment, with 78% left, it's showing 209 miles. So I think probably about 250, more realistically at motorway speed at least, but again, we'll see how we get on. So we're going to need to stop for charge at some point. We're going to need to stop for food at some point. We're not going to get down to Chippenham until, you know, sort of 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon, and then I've got to get to London as well. So it's going to be a full day of driving. But so far, you know, I say less than an hour in, it's very comfortable. You can see we've got the grey interior on this car, so this is the New English white paintwork, which is actually the free paint choice on the car. You then get a choice of, if you wanted metallic paints, a silver, there's a gunmetal grey, colour called Camden Grey. They're a £545 option, or you can go for inky yellow, which is a £695 option on the paint, and so is the dynamic red, which is the tri-coat red. That's £695 as well. So this is the free paint colour, but we've got a red hood on this car, and that's a £500 option that's available on the New English white and the Camden Grey and also the silver. You can't get a red roof with a red car. I guess they thought that would look a little bit too much red. You can, however, have a choice of interior, so we've got the grey interior on this, or there's a two-tone red and black interior, which is a lot more toned down version of what we saw on our walk-around video that we did in the Chinese car last year. We've got 3 displays up here. On our left-hand screen, we've got Android Auto. On the centre screen, we've got our main display with Speedo, and it shows on the left-hand side, it's got our MG Pilot cruise control with lane keep assist, intelligent cruise assist it's called, and that's steering through us whilst we're driving. And then on the right-hand part of that display, we've got a trip meter, or we can cycle through and see things like tyre pressures and so on. And then on this screen on the right-hand side here, we can cycle through various things. We've got charge, energy consumption, weather reports, you can see where the nearest MG dealer is, and there's various other settings and things we can control on that as well. So yeah, so we've got a lot of options on that screen. Centre screen, very clear to read, speed and so on, and trip meter, and I say, so far so good, very easy drive. We'll do an update once we've driven a bit further. So we're in very slow moving traffic on the M6 around Birmingham, which is standard, but the good thing about the MG Cyberster is that at speeds below 30 miles an hour, you can put the roof down in just 10 seconds. And since the sun's come out, it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? So, oh, and there we go. So we've got a few different driving modes on this car. It's got comfort, and in comfort mode, it's rear wheel drive only. So it's actually like as if you drove the normal trophy version rather than this, the GT. And that gives it 340 brake horsepower in the trophy, which is good for 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds, which is perfectly fine. And we've been driving in comfort mode most of the way actually, and I say we're averaging 3.4 miles per kilowatt now down past Birmingham. But if you press this right hand paddle here, then it switches to sport mode, and in sport mode it gives you all-wheel drive, and that's 503 brake horsepower, and 0 to 60 comes down to about 3.4 seconds, which is pretty quick. And then if you pull it again, it puts into custom mode, and then you've got a choice of whether you want it to be rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, whether you want to put track mode on, how heavy or light you want the steering. So it gives quite a lot of customization on that. Or if you press this red Super Sport button, then the dash changes a bit and it becomes the sort of crazy mad thing, so that when you put your foot on the accelerator, it pins you against your seat very, very quickly. So yeah, so it's all very easily controlled from the steering wheel. You can also go in through this center console and change your modes from there if you're stationary, but I think that just pressing these buttons is very easy to do whilst you're driving along. But I say for most people on a journey like this, where we're on the motorway and we're using cruise control, comfort mode, rear wheel drive is absolutely fine performance-wise, and it means that you've got perhaps slightly better range because it disconnects the front motor. Currently showing 54% remaining, 141 miles remaining. As I say, we've done over 100 miles so far. We've got 80 miles to get down to Chippenham. So when we're doing a long journey, what's important is, well, primarily the driver and passenger comfort, and that is really good. We've got electrically adjustable driver and passenger seat, and there are 2 memory store functions for both those seats. The bolstering's good, it holds you in well, it's nice and comfortable, nice softly sprung seats, and this sort of 𝗱𝗏𝗃𝗃 centre is very nice as well. And ergonomically, the rest of the dashboard is kind of angled towards the driver. You've got these 3 screens which sort of in a semicircle around your view. You've got the centre console, which is perfectly usable by both the driver and passenger. You've got a grab handle here for the passenger as well. But yeah, overall, ergonomically, it's a really nice place to sit. Now, in terms of noise levels, there is some road noise. It is a soft top, obviously. You haven't got the level of integration and insulation that you have when it's a hard top, but it's very well insulated for a soft top. It's got, it's a dual layer roof with a good level of insulation, and you do notice a big difference between when the roof's down and the roof's up in terms of noise level. In terms of fit and finish, I am really impressed looking around the dash how well finished this is. This use of both leather and 𝗱𝗏𝗃𝗃 material around the interior on the A-pillars here, continuing through to the sun visors. It's all been finished really, really nicely. And certainly this car holds its own against things like your Porsche Boxster and your BMW Z4, both of which cost about the same as this for a lot less performance, and you have to remember, obviously, not electric either. So I think that MG has done really, really well to pitch this at the sub £60,000 price point that it is. In terms of driving on this long journey we're doing today, we've got the MG Pilot, so we've got cruise control with lane keep assist, so that's set to the speed limit, and it's really, really easy to drive. You basically just set your speed and let it get on with it, and it's going to speed up and slow down according to the car in front. It has a traffic jam assist as well, so if you're in slow speed traffic like we were earlier, you can put the cruise control on for that, and it will keep you a safe distance from the car in front, but keep accelerating and braking in traffic. So yeah, generally just a really easy car to drive. So we're at Gloucester Services on the M5, and we've stopped here only because it's lunchtime. We've been driving for 3 hours, so we thought we could do with some energy ourselves. So it's got 36% left on the car when we plugged in. It's currently charging at 92 kilowatts. Now this will charge up to 160 kilowatts on a rapid charger in ideal conditions, but when that depends on battery temperature and how low the battery is as well. I think with sort of nearly 40% in the battery, 90 kilowatts not too bad. I've just driven 219 miles in the MG Cyberster, and I've arrived here with 13% left. Chucked it on an Ionity charger, and it peaks at 143 kilowatts, which is pretty good to see. It's currently at 55% and still pulling 91.1 kilowatts. So certainly the MG Cyberster is capable of charging pretty damn quickly, and certainly half an hour from like 13% up to 80%, which is good to see. We've done over 150 miles to get here. It's been really easy so far. We're going to take it on some A roads from here back into Chippenham, and then I'm going to go on my own out to London for another couple of hours drive. So we'll let you know how we get along on that way. On these tree-lined B roads on the outskirts of the Cotswolds, it's a very nice drive. It comes into its own really, because it's very easy to place on the road. It's got double wishbone front suspension, and you get tons of feeling back through the steering wheel. We're not going too fast at the moment. We're only doing a sort of maximum 40 miles an hour on these roads because A, they're very twisty, and B, I don't know where I'm going, and I don't really want to put this into a hedge backwards. I don't think MG would like us at all for that. But it's very easy to place on the road. It feels like a wide, big car. It does feel more like a Jaguar F-Type compared to, say, something like, you know, a smaller car like the Boxster or the MX-5. So it is more Jag F-Type sort of cruising sort of speed, cruising sort of feel to it. About a month ago, I got taken by MG to Millbrook Proving Ground in Bedfordshire and got to try the Cyberster on both the Alpine circuit and also the high-speed bowl. And I drove this car with the roof down at 115 miles an hour around the high-speed bowl. And I could still hear myself think. So actually, the aerodynamics of this car work really well. Now, I'm 5'11". Charles, who's doing my filming today, he's 6'1". And both of us have plenty of headroom in this car with the roof up, and with the roof down, we're still not getting buffeted around too much. My hair is going to be a little bit fluffy, I think, when I get back, but overall, it's comfortable. It's really, really nice to drive. The MG Cyberster GT has got launch control. All you need to do is put your foot on the brake, put your other foot on the accelerator. It builds the power, a rocket ship appears on the screen, and then you just go.
How good are the brakes, Miles?
Pretty damn good. So according to the highway code, from 60 miles an hour to 0 should take a braking distance of around 100 metres. This will do it in 33. So it means that you can brake with extreme confidence, and it will bring you to a halt very, very quickly indeed. It's always very good being able to accelerate 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, but being able to stop quickly as well, just as important. The MG Cyberster has a really good BOSE sound system. It's the first branded audio system that MG has used in its models here in the UK, but it works really, really well. There's a clarity and a depth of sound that you just don't find on any of the other MG models. In fact, I have to say, it's pretty banging. So the BOSE system also plays the EVSE volume. So the actual EVSE is the electric vehicle sound enhancer, and you've got a choice between either electro-induction, which is an electric motor sort of sound, which sounds like this, or we've got fuel sports car. Click on that. Then when you put your foot down, it gives a bit of a roar. So if you thought that, you know, electric cars are a bit dull, boring, don't have a soundtrack, don't have any sort of, you know, engine noise as such, this one actually does. So we've done 200 miles of our 300-mile road trip today, and this is the point at which I say goodbye to Charles, our group videographer, because he's leaving me. He's going back to Chorley, and I've got to take the next 100 miles by myself going to London. So I'll let you know how I get on, but it'll be filmed a lot more gonzo style, and it will not look as good as it did before. So I'm all by myself in the car now, and I'm on the M4 heading towards London. I've got a total of 87 miles to go to get to where I'm dropping the car off tonight, which obviously, being London traffic, is expecting me to take anywhere between 2.5 and 3 hours. It's now 3:30 in the afternoon. We set off this morning at 9 AM, so we've been driving, well, sat in the car or driving or filming for the best part of sort of 6 hours already, and it still feels okay, to be fair. So I'll let you know again once I've got to Catford, and then see how actually fresh I'm feeling at that point. But it's a comfy place to sit. There's, for 2 people or for 1 person, it's a really, really comfortable place to sit. The MG Pilot features, when you're driving on the motorway, set the speed control to 70, put the lane keep assist on. It basically makes long distance driving like this really easy. The only thing you need to do is basically just follow your satellite navigation, and you get you there. But when you take this onto the A roads and the B roads, when you have it a bit of a thrash about, shall we say, on the country lanes, it was really good fun. It was, you know, we put it in super sport mode, we put our foot down, and it goes like a scolded cat. We're going to do a video at the track, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. It just depends on when we can book the track out for a day. And try the MG Cyberster around Three Sisters circuit. And because one thing that we really liked with the MG for X-Power was the performance, obviously, and we compared that against the BMW M2. I'm not sure what we should compare this to, because there's, you know, the Porsche Boxster's got way less power than this, but everything else that costs sort of £60,000 is much less powerful. So I don't know what we're going to pitch this against. We're going to have put thinking caps on and come up with something. So maybe again, if you let us know in the comments below if you can think of any performance cars, or maybe you live in the northwest of England and you'd like to actually see what this car is like against a performance car you've got. Let us know in the comments below what you'd like to test on a drag race and a bit of a circuit test against the MG Cyberster GT that we're in now. Comfort mode we've been using all the way. Now I've been driving for 7.5 hours nearly now, and we're averaging 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour over the whole journey. In fact, since last time we stopped and put a little bit of charging on the M4, it's actually on 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Obviously the average has come back up with us, doing an average of like 20 miles an hour or less in central London. In fact, I'm in a 20 limit at the moment. Driving in central London at 5:30 p.m. is not recommended at all. But actually, you know, with the roof down, with a bit of clear skies up ahead, planes from Heathrow. As we're driving down here, it's actually really easy to drive in these conditions. It's got the one pedal driving mode, which I've selected, so that means that as I driving the stop-start traffic, I just need to ease my foot off the accelerator and it comes to a complete stop, which makes it easier really driving in this sort of traffic. Situation update, it's 5:30 p.m. I've got 11 miles to get to my destination and it's going to take me over an hour to do 11 miles. And I've been driving for 7.5 hours total so far already. The good news is once I've dropped the car off, I can just relax on the train on the way back, he says optimistically, hoping that nothing's going to get cancelled. So one of the good things about driving around central London is that your speed's going to be low, and that means your efficiency is going to be great. So driving around London, my efficiency has been up to sort of 4.1, 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour, which would translate as a total range of over 300 miles, or 315 miles, which incidentally is the WLTP range of the single motor version of the MG Cyberster. Overall, since we set off this morning, I've been driving now for 8 hours, and it says that my average is 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. So 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour would translate to a range of around 250 miles range total from 100% battery. Now, we've not been doing a range test as such today. We set off without 100% charge this morning. We have stopped for a couple of little quick splash and dash top-ups at the motorway services on the way down. Overall, I think that the range stacks up really well. It's certainly plenty for this type of vehicle. You're not typically going to be doing 300 or 400 mile drives in a day. I wouldn't have thought in the MG Cyberster. I think it's probably going to be more of a weekend toy that you're going to drive around up into the Cotswolds, or you're going to drive in the Yorkshire Dales, or you're going to drive in the Peak District or Lake District. I think it's that sort of, you know, fun time vehicle you're going to use for just when the weather looks nice, let's take it out and have a bit of good fun. But good to know if it is your day-to-day driver, if you get it on a salary sacrifice scheme, for example, and you think, you know, this is going to be my day-to-day driver car. Yeah, in commuting it's easy. On motorways it's easy, and it's just a supremely comfortable car. I really like it. So that's me. I've just dropped off the Cyberster, having done 300 miles in 8.5 hours on a variety of roads, mainly motorway, but a lot of, you know, inner city running as well. And I'm currently at Catford train station, awaiting a train back up north. It's gone well today. I would say that the car itself is excellent, and I'm really looking forward to taking it on the track in a week or so. I hope you've liked this video. If you have, please click the like button down below, it helps us out, and let us know what you think about the car in the comments down below. We've got loads more MG Cyberster on the way, so if you'd like to see the MG Cyberster track video we've got coming up, click up here to subscribe to our channel. You'll see that as soon as it goes live. Click up here for more information on the MG Cyberster on our website. If you want more information on the MG Cyberster walk-around video we did last year, click down here. And if you want to see another fast MG, we've got the MG 𝗱𝗶𝗃𝗲. Click to see that video down here.